just the lowest rung on the ladder of culture. And somebody is talking to me about my image. I can shave a little faster if I keep the mustache on, and I've kept it ever since.
They grow right there. Yes. Come on up.
This is going to be a tough one, I can tell. You've got a tough question.
So, I think a lot of people who deal with fans at conventions have things that, like negative stories where there's something that a fan did that they wish they hadn't done. What's a way that a fan could make a good, memorable impression on you, so that you would remember them and if possible?
Okay, so what she's asking, in case you guys can't hear in the back, what's a good way a fan can make a good impression on someone like Stan at a convention and not offend or, you know, leave a bad taste in your mouth, so to speak?
The only way to offend a guest at a convention is to ignore him or her. When any fan comes over and says, could I take a picture, could I have an autograph, or I like your stuff, I mean, that's wonderful to hear. It's never offensive. And people who get offended by that can take their place with Dr. Wortham.
I just wanted to say thank you for all your creations. Growing up, it kept me out of a lot of trouble. If I wasn't reading comic books, I would have been in trouble. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, that's very nice. Thank you. You've been in a lot of trouble, so thanks for all the comics. You're welcome.
I have a friend of mine who was in jail for a while, and he said there's a lot of comics going around in jail.
And he read comics before he went to jail, for sure.
I'm sure he did.
Can I get another guy sitting up here?
I think he read different comics. I think from another.
Couldn't have been Marvel. Well, the smart answer. The question was, when I feel unhappy or upset, what do I do to make myself feel good? The smart answer would be, of course, to say, I read a comic book. Oh, I have other things that I do.
Come on. Be loud.
Did you hear that?
And I'll repeat it again. So he asked the question, the Fantastic Four are all named after their powers, except for Mr. Fantastic. So why is that?
I got news for you to make this go faster. You don't have to tell me what he said and then tell me. You're absolutely right, and that was very perceptive of you. I couldn't think. He was smart. I could have called him Mr. IQ or something. I don't know why I called him Mr. Fantastic. Because the more I thought about it, what a conceited way to refer to himself. Fantastic. I was younger then, and I may have been in a hurry. My wife may have said, dinner is ready. You've been over that damn typewriter too long. Get in here. And I had to think of something quickly, so I wrote Mr. Fantastic. I don't know. I should have thought a little longer.
Lady right here, young lady. Yep, you come on up. Yeah.
Now remember, you tell them what they said. I'll listen.
With all of the, I've heard other directors say that they knew things about their characters, or like one director knew something about Nightcrawler that he didn't think anyone else knew. And I was just wondering if you had anything like that you had kept out of comic books, and what would you do with that knowledge?
Okay, the question is a little complicated, but I'm doing it. That's what that creaking noise you hear right now. Okay. A lot of directors, when they take on the characters in the movies, they say they hold back some details about the characters and they don't appear in the film. And she's asking, and Stan, with the characters that they made it to the comic, was there stuff that didn't make it to the comic that about the characters that you did that you held back?
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
That's back.
Let's just say,
You all talk to each other.
Yes. Like there's something when you wrote the thing in the Fantastic Four. Was there something you didn't put in the comics that you always had in the back of your mind and said, you know, I always want to do this with the thing, or this is something I'll never say, but...
No, I was never that clever. Any idea that I had immediately, I wrote it down before I forget it. There was nothing that I held in reserve at all. I wish there were ideas that I didn't use then, because I would use them now. But now I have to think of new stuff.
Thank you. The little guy right there. Yeah, you. Come on up.
He's going to have a tough one.
He's a heartbreaker. All right, he wants to know how you thought of all this.
With great difficulty. I don't know. You know, it's really impossible to ever say how you got an idea or thought of something. I never thought these things would reach the point where I'd be talking to an audience about them. I don't think any of us in the business ever thought that. And all that would happen, I worked for a publisher named Martin Goodman. And Martin would say, you know, Stan, the Fantastic Four is selling pretty well. Why don't you do another superhero thing? So to me, it was an assignment. It was something I had to do or I'd lose my job. So I sat down and I thought, and I came up with whatever it was, the X-Men, I don't remember what the second one was. But neither I nor the people I worked with ever thought that this was big stuff, and this was important stuff. It was just, well, here's another idea for a book, and we hope it'll sell, and we'll keep our job, and we'll be able to pay the rent, and that was it. And it was only, I guess, because of my magnificent writing. And to be serious, the magnificent artwork of Kirby and Ditko and all those guys. During the early days of Marvel, it's like everything came together perfectly. All of the people that were working on those books worked together so beautifully. And the stories did turn out good. I sometimes read an old book and I say, geez, did I write that? This is good. So how it happened and how we thought of it, I don't even know. But I'm glad we did.
I got a question. When was the first time you saw people dress up as your characters?
I guess the first time I went to a comic book convention, well, maybe not the first comic book convention, but after. I'll tell you about comic book conventions. It was so funny. In the beginning, I went to the earliest conventions, and you'd see a bunch of kids running around. None of them looked older than 12 years old. Occasionally, you'd see a parent, because he didn't have a babysitter for the kid or something, and the kid couldn't come alone, he was too young, I don't know, so there'd be some parent wondering, what am I doing here, looking very unhappy. They were all kids. As the years went by, less and less kids, and more older people. Now, you walk around the hall of any convention center, you see mostly adults, with an occasional kid, because they couldn't get a babysitter. It's amazing.
Anybody is in a Marvel costume, could you stand up so everybody else can appreciate it? Back there flashing at us.
You know, a great thing about Captain America, it makes it very easy to be in a superhero costume, because all you need is to carry the shield, you don't need anything else.
And by a show of hands for a second, how many people have a Marvel character tattoo? That's pretty good. Not bad.
Almost. I mean,
We won't tell your mother. There you go. Very cool. I love Stanley, so I wasn't sad. Okay, we're going to take sir in red. Yes.
My wife's a big fan, and I hope I get this right, because she's got these comics. She's going to see you later in the autograph line. But are you ever going to do Doctor Strange again? She's got like some old comics in the 70s.
The question is she's asking if Stan is ever going to write Doctor Strange again.
Probably not. I